You're not Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. I am Peyton Manning level. I'm on GOAT status. I think I'm the baddest mother lover ever walk on this planet. Damn it, you could never see me. You could never beat me. You could never be me. Disrespect me, and I'm eating all of your pizza. I know I'm not right. I know I'm not white. I know I'm gon' call the popo on you if you hit me. I don't fight. I'm a rapper. I don't write. Rio, you got all that hype. That's the stuff that I don't like. Why you laughing at my height? I wish I could slap your face. You just think you're so amazing. You just think that you're the greatest. Why you bucking Tom Brady? I am Peyton Manning. End of conversation. You just hating. I am Peyton Manning. Say it. I am Peyton Manning. Say it. No, Dibble God plan. That's a Drake line. Beat the midget up. That's a hate crime. A-Town zone 3 game time. Got the trunk knocking from the baseline. I'm all about the money, baby, crock a cake time. Chopsticks on deck, no Shanghai. 4-5, you come to my waistline. Keep the 4-5 tucked by my waistline. You soft in the middle like fruit pie. I know it's hard for you to walk a straight line. You wouldn't throw trays in the food fight. That's what I heard through the grapevine. I know you don't mind wasting your time. I would just prefer you didn't waste mine. You gon' get what coming to you in due time. Little pussycat running from the K9. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You ain't nowhere in my category, mandatory for me to tell you that you were very boring. And the moral of the story, I wish I could just ignore you, but they gotta burn your body, put you in the crematorium. And I'm the only audio inside the auditorium. And when I'm finished with you, you will not have no memorial. You wanna be Luigi, but you're not ready for Mario. And no scenario, running circles around your cardio. And that's a body blow, it's not a secret. Everybody know that you ain't coming close. I leave you comatose and you become a ghost. I overdose, I gotta overload. That's when the windows of heaven open up for me with the overflow. And I can feel the power moving within every last chromosome. Battle right around the corner, you already know it's on. Understand me, you're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Woo! You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. I am Peyton Manning level. I'm on GOAT status. I think I'm the baddest mother lover ever walk on this planet. Damn it, you could never see me. You could never beat me. You could never be me. Disrespect me, and I'm eating all of your pizza. I know I'm not right. I know I'm not white. I know I'm gon' call the popo on you if you hit me. I don't fight. I'm a rapper. I don't write. Rio, you got all that hype. That's the stuff that I don't like. Why you laughing at my height? I wish I could slap your face. You just think you're so amazing. You just think that you're the greatest. Why you bucking Tom Brady? I am Peyton Manning. End of conversation. You just hating. I am Peyton Manning. Say it. I am Peyton Manning. Say it. No, Dibble God plan. That's a Drake line. Beat the midget up. That's a hate crime. A-Town zone 3 game time. Got the trunk knocking from the baseline. I'm all about the money, baby, crock a cake time. Chopsticks on deck, no Shanghai. 4-5, you come to my waistline. Keep the 4-5 tucked by my waistline. You soft in the middle like fruit pie. I know it's hard for you to walk a straight line. You wouldn't throw trays in the food fight. That's what I heard through the grapevine. I know you don't mind wasting your time. I would just prefer you didn't waste mine. You gon' get what coming to you in due time. Little pussycat running from the K9. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning. Manny, Peyton Manny. You're not Peyton Manny. You're not Peyton Manny. Peyton Manny. You're not Peyton Manny. You're not Peyton Manny. Peyton Manny. You ain't nowhere in my category, mandatory for me to tell you that you were very boring. And the moral of the story, I wish I could just ignore you, but they gotta burn your body, put you in the crematorium. And I'm the only audio inside the auditorium. And when I'm finished with you, you will not have no memorial. You wanna be Luigi, but you're not ready for Mario. And no scenario, running circles around your cardio. And that's a body blow, it's not a secret. Everybody know that you ain't coming close. I leave you comatose, and you become a ghost. I overdose, I gotta overload. That's when the windows of heaven open up for me with the overflow. And I can feel the power moving within every last chromosome. Battle right around the corner, you already know it's on. Understand me, you're not Peyton Manny. You're not Peyton Manny. Woo!
On the track.
SB on the beat.
How you supposed to have light if you got solar missing? Everything seemed bright with solar vision. Whole court and a witness, nobody noticed missing. I'm my own judge, jury, and the co-defendant. It ain't an idol if it's solar image. Get to the core, my nigga, no pretending. Hotter than Jamie Foxx on a solar mission. Melchizedek, no beginning nor an ending. Ain't no need to study long if you gon' study wrong. Got me chasing the ghosts with no lully bones. Blew a hustle anywhere but never hustle home. Mama pray for his soul cause he ain't coming home. Watch you doctrine get demolished. Bluetooth pilots for YouTube scholars. I do for knowledge, not no stupid dollars. My new provider make them hoop and holler. In the lead for the light bringers, Illuminati. You ain't doing nada and blue ain't bother. Can't be rolling with you with no stupid MAGA. No Candace Owens, I don't do Kamala. Free flowing out this new Kabbalah. Lumen in the garden, hit a human olive. And you can get this stick with no soup and salad. Blue seek asylum on a Cuban island. My newest challenge is live a long life. Can't nobody live it for you, you gon' live your own life. Right place, wrong time, I'm in the valley where the bones dry. I prophesying to the bones rise. How you supposed to have light if you got solar missing? Everything seemed bright with solar vision. Whole court and a witness, nobody noticed missing. I'm my own judge, jury, and the co-defendant. It ain't an idol if it's solar image. Get to the core, my nigga, no pretending. Hotter than Jamie Foxx on a solar mission. Melchizedek, no beginning nor an ending. Wake up, Jacob, tell him it's urgent. Identify me by the blessings, never the curses. Walk on water, but I never submerging. You a goon on Zoom, but never in person. My verses merge with the ancient letters. My rating's good, but my rank is better. You soft as Wayne and baby's leather. If I bring my best, you can't do better. Local native, surrounded by the foreigners. The throne of David, the crown is Moorish. I can anoint the babies and crown the poorest. I'm rolling out, I found the forest. Lex told me keep a head and a leg up. Y'all rob with a tank at your head, bruh. Consul told Blue keep your bread up. Seen solar at the door like lead, yeah, I'm shooting for the top like Rick Berry. Sneaking baseline, tryna rip Parrish. This is where your talking points get perished. Just to be a champion like Chris Harris. How you supposed to have light if you got solar missing? Everything seemed bright with solar vision. Whole court and a witness, nobody noticed missing. I'm my own judge, jury, and the co-defendant. It ain't an idol if it's solar image. Get to the core, my nigga, no pretending. Hotter than Jamie Foxx on a solar mission. Melchizedek, no beginning nor an ending.
On the track.
Peace. What's going on, people? This is your boy Solar Mind, and I am here live, family, on the Argument League. Shout out to Swab Beezy for giving me the platform to bring individuals on. And the individual that we are going to bring on in a minute, he goes by the name of Imam Bashir. Now, when you're hearing Imam, that means that he is a Muslim. Many people may be already aware of Imam Bashir. He debated and spoke on other platforms. So he's pretty known within a certain sector of the conscious circle. So we're going to bring him on in a second. He has some views. I'm just going to let y'all guys know. Be ready, because he has some views that you may disagree with. But I think that ultimately the conversation should be a good conversation. And it will be definitely very fruitful. One thing that I seen after having conversing yesterday, that between amongst the men and amongst the women, and as they dialogue with each other, they seem to not totally understand where each perspective coming from. And that could go from the religious, men talking to the non-religious men, and the religious women talking to the non-religious women, and everybody dialoguing with each other, So I think that bringing him on would definitely lay a good foundation as to where he's coming from in his perspectives, and I'll open up the panel for questions and discussion after he laid down some of his perspectives and some of his views. So throw out the disclaimer: the views and perspectives of Imam Bashir does not reflect in any way, shape, or form the views and perspectives presented by the Argument League and Suave BZ. All right. So I guess I could go and clout chase right now. Station identification. You are talking to Solar Mind. We do have some debates lined up. We just finalized a debate between Brother Moses and Ak Malak. Now, I was listening to the dialogue that y'all had this morning, and I think Battle Axe wanted to set up a debate with one of the brothers. So I got to call and see what was that about. But this is the latest debate that we set up. It's between Ak Malak and Brother Moses. It is, should we help the destroyed people in the black community? And that is set for November 22nd. But we will be rocking out first thing in November. Rest assured you. So if you are about that debate life, this is where you want to be. On the 5th, we have Young Josh. He would be squaring off against Arataza. That will be Young Josh's first debate of the season. So shout out to that brother. Was Jesus a real historical figure? That will be most likely the first debate in the month of November. So make sure you're being in the building for that. If you want to check out Young Josh's first debate. All right. What else we got lined up? Oh, November 7th, we have a double header. All right. The first debate of that double header will be Orthodox Moore. He will be making his debut debate after taking a whole year off here on Solar Vision Debate League. Last time he debated was when he lost to Chris Harris. I believe that was in the semi-conference final round, or the divisional round of the SBDL playoffs. He will be making his return. He will be squaring off against Rabbi Lewis. Does the Quran confirm the New Testament? All right, so you're going to be seeing, I believe, Orthodox more, maybe a little more frequently this month. I know there's a couple of brothers that was trying to get at him, so we'll see if we can finalize those debates there. The second half of that doubleheader would be Chris Harris. He would be squaring off against Anonymous Hebrew. Anonymous Hebrew, the champion of Solar Vision Debate League, is going to be making his debut debate, squaring off against Chris Harris, and the topic is Deuteronomy 28:68. Is referring to America or Egypt. That should be, once again, very interesting topic. I guess he's coming to, rectify, what transpired with Chris Harris when he debated this topic beforehand, and he killed it with he's tied for the highest score, which will be the 143. He's tied with Taz up at this moment of the season. So November 6th, we're gonna have Blackson making his debut debate here on Solar Vision Debate League, along with Joseph Israel. So they are both making their debut debates, battling each other. Were the Israelites slaves according to history? Were the Israelites slaves according to history? Should be a very interesting topic right there. Make sure you be in the building for that, family. And we got more debates lined up for you. So, if you are about that debate life, subscribe to Solar Vision Debate League. Sister Nandy, she will be making her second debate here on Solar Vision Debate League, squaring off against Minister How. Did the civil rights movement benefit black people? That'll be November 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chris Harris will be going up against King Shenard. Should black people be patriotic? That should be very interesting right there. Should black people be patriotic? That'll be on the 28th of November. On the 14th of November, we're going to have Brother Moses going up against Imam. Which bill has more of an impact? The Civil Rights Bill of 1866 or the Homestead Act of 1862? All right. So got some very interesting debates lined up for the people. We are currently waiting on the Imam to come in the building. We do have more debates. Minister Howe will be, I'm sorry. Hookenair will be squaring off against Lance on the 14th as well. So that'll be the first half of that doubleheader that is going to be on the 14th. Hookenair going up against Lance is Jesus the Messiah. And on the 21st, we got KOT and Nyame. Are we ready at this day and time to overthrow the system? And we will be getting back to debating over there on Solar Vision Debate League, starting with on the 23rd. And that would be KOT. He will be going up against Afro-Asiatic. It's the God of the Bible and the Quran, the same God. All right? There's a lot of debates. We getting a little too biblical out this motherfucker for the month of November. A lot of Bible debates up in this motherfucker. Madan Kemet will be squaring off against Suave Boss on the 24th. Is the black woman God? Anonymous Hebrew. He will be. I have to correct myself. His debut debate will be against Blue. Anon. He will be squaring off against Blue on the 25th of this month. That's 3 days away. What's the best tool to defeat white supremacy? Non-participation or strategic separation? As what you guys kind of heard yesterday. They were kind of doing a little scrimmage, if you didn't pick up on that. Yesterday when we was talking about, relationships. Lance and True Justice are going to be in the building on the 26th of this month. Is the earth a cone or a sphere? All right, make sure you be in the building for that. Battle Axe will be going up against Suave Boss in consecutive days. First day is the Ovum Alive. That'll be on the 27th. And on the 28th is the Soul in the Sperm. The 29th, we got Lance. He will be squaring off against Rabbi Lewis. Were the ethnic Jews of Europe black? KOT will be going up against Minister Howe on the 30th. Is Gabriel and Jesus the same person? And we will be capping off this month with Taz squaring off against Akmalak. Which is more detrimental, if the black man marries the white woman or if the black woman marries the white man? All right, so definitely should be very interesting. With that being said, we do have the man in the building. He goes by the name of Imam Bashir.
Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. All right,
Oh
we got
yes,
we got a
but
we got a we got a echo.
we have an echo. I don't know why. I don't have anything else playing.
Do you have the YouTube on?
I don't have the YouTube. Nothing playing.
You on your phone?
Nothing playing. I am the computer.
Yes, is when I talk is an echo. So
Okay.
I think it's
All right. So I probably need some headphones, but I'm gonna handle this situation because I need the people to really, really hear me.
it shouldn't be a factor because I'm gonna let you just go in. So
Okay.
I only hear the echo when I'm talking. So what I'll do right now is mute you out real quick and I'll just do a quick introduction to the Imam Bashir as I get everything all set and ready for the brother. All right, so Imam Bashir, he's going to be talking about, the black family. We had an interesting conversation yesterday and he gave me a call and said he wanted to come on and let you know the truth. The truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth can be offensive. And in this particular crowd, you may not agree with his views because he's coming from an Islamic perspective. He's coming from an Islamic perspective, and this will be judgment on the black family. So I'm interested in hearing what he has to say. So without further ado, we're gonna bring Imam Bashir on, and we're gonna let him go in and break this thing down, and then we'll allow you guys to come in and ask questions and comments and things of that nature, whatever you want to, however you feel, just feel free to, as long as it's respectful, we could definitely have an interesting dialogue after he goes in. All right, so without further ado, here goes Imam Bashir.
Peace to the family. Assalamu alaikum to Solar Vision Debate League, which no lie family is the best debate league that's out there. And so, get the people in the building and share, like, subscribe, because a lot of conversations that we need to have. So I really appreciate the platform, Brother Solomon, doing great works. And I appreciate the family, out there listening. And hopefully you'll like, share, and subscribe, because this is a very, important topic. It's not a topic that we should take lightly. It's a strong topic, and let's just get up into this thing. And I don't want anyone to attack me for the information I'm going to bring, but I know the enemy must always be there. So I must protect myself as an individual that's trying to be in complete submission to the will of the Creator. So I begin with Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Amma ba'du, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I begin. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah. He is alone and has no partner. And I bear witness that Muhammad Ibn Abdullah is his servant and messenger, and I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed Satan, and we begin in the name of Allah. Family, I want to take this conversation, discussing the black family and the judgment on the black family in stages. Some of it you already know, but we're not just going to talk about the subject, but actually add substance to the subject and select solutions to the subject as well. Right now, we're going just to discuss some prerequisite things before we get to, the solutions. So we're really talking about today the destabilization of the black family and why. This is really what it's going to boil down to. And I'm going to say it one more time, the destabilization of the black family. And we're going to talk about why. And we're going to talk about why there's, why it's titled with some judgment. And there is judgment here coming from myself and others that are like me. However, we're not judgmental to the point, because you have people that say, well, we shouldn't be judging each other. I think people like that are liars. I think they're hypocrites, and I think they contradict themselves in, by the words that they say. And the reason for that is that it's time for us to judge what is apparent. Now, we do this everywhere we go, no matter if it's a grocery store, no matter if we're, going to a job interview. Judgment is a part of, society. So we should not try to judge, what a person is thinking or try to be, a psychic, but we can judge from what is apparent in our society. So let's just go to, we're in the United States of America. It's 2021. We are 400 to 500 years out of, what they'll call the transatlantic slave trade. And we know that whether, I know that a lot of people, well, some people is, say the Aboriginal thing or whatever the case may be, no judgments with that. But my point is that we know that something tragic happened before the inception of the United States of America. So what I mean by that is before the United States of America was formed, there was movement to a new land, which we call the Americas, that was conquered by Europeans or people that will classify themselves as being white people. And we know during this process, the institution of what they will call chattel slavery was enacted upon Africans turned to African Americans. And through that destruction, that taking away of any humane connection, anything with humanity, such as, being able to be prideful of your own name, being able to be prideful or have some dignity or some respect for your family lineage, etc. These type of things were stripped from the Africans that were enslaved here and set up for a genocide, a spiritual genocide, a economic genocide, a psychological genocide. So there was a systematic attack on the mindset of melanated people that were brought here, and our families were decimated with this particular system. And I'm mentioning that because although we can go 200, 300, 400 years back and track, in 2021, I want to show the people that much has changed, but the apple has not fallen far from the tree. And that apple I'm talking about is to maintain the mind, the mind of Black men and women, and to have them move in a way that's detrimental to them, but beneficial to the society at large, which is supported by what can be termed as, people would say, a white supremacist agenda or a white supremacist system, etc. An agenda that was created many, many years ago to destroy, the lives of people all over the world, but Black people in particular. So we just got to keep that in mind. So they didn't, so our families wasn't together. So our women were basically used to, and I'm going to use the term because I think it's appropriate, but they was used as bitches. And I'm using that term because as a female dog, you would take the stud and you will go take the stud, which is the male dog, which in this case will be synonymous. The enemy made that synonymous with his philosophy against Black people. He made that synonymous with, a Black man being a stud. So the stud job is only to, not to have a real connection with the female or the bitch, right? But rather just to put sperm in her to produce children, right? And those children obviously were being produced with a goal, that they had in mind, that these children will be subservient to us. And not only subservient, they'll be inferior. So going back to the family structure, we can see that we know, and I don't want to stay on this because this is not about that. I just want to, I just want to see if I can get things to resonate in our minds so we can look at things, objectively and, and be able to see what benefits us and what doesn't benefit us. And we can take the good and discard the bad. All right. So, the inception of this country established that our families or melanated people families will be destroyed and will not be valued. And we still are suffering, from that pathology. Now, if we go to, like the 30s or the 40s or the 50s, and to some of us that have actual real grandparents, when your grandparents was actually, 55, 60 years old. And then before they came a great grand, they was like 70 years old, that type of situation, that type of situation is, excuse me, I just got, distracted by my stepdaughter. Come on. But nevertheless, come here. Come here. Come say hi to the people. Say hi. Say salam alaikum. Say salam alaikum. Yeah, go ahead. MashaAllah. Okay, so she walked in on me. I lost my train of thought, but alhamdulillah. Let's keep moving. But you look at, the real, grandmothers at those proper ages, those women right there, really held something special once we got out of, the systematic chains and shackles. The mind was still enslaved for the most part, but, the chains, the physical chains and shackles came off. And this was, prior to and a little after what the 1865 with the Emancipation Proclamation Act, and we know the stuff with that as well. But I'm talking about when the chains actually came off, and we started getting these thoughts about real freedom, about real liberation, about having human rights, let alone civil rights. But we can see that our women, those women had very powerful family structures, because Black women and men wanted to regain their family structures, and we actually did, as a people, as a nation. Black men and women actually fought hard and worked very hard to bring the Black family structure back together, and we were very successful at that at a point. But then we got caught up in a trap. But I'm gonna get into that trap in just a moment. But let's go back to Big Mama and Pop Pop. So and pay attention, what Big Mama did when she got married was she got married at young ages, these ages that we're talking about now, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, which is another show when we talk about that. But nevertheless, they were getting married at these young ages, and they was looking for men. Did they look for men that was attractive? Absolutely. They looked for men that, was attractive to them. Maybe they liked their bodies, but they made sure that they was men, not males. They made sure that if they was going to get in a relationship with them, that they was going to, one, marry them. That's one. There was going to be a contract. There was going to be a legal contract, which is through the institution of marriage. All these things is important. A legal contract through the institution of marriage. That is what Big Mama wanted. And then two, she knew that her job was to make sure and ensure that the family was good, that the children were good, that if she decided to have a man, she was like, I'm going to birth children from this man. I don't understand the concept of another man coming to me and having babies with me after I done had children with my husband. This was typically what the thought processes was with our grandparents and our great grandparents. And this is absolute facts. The men, will go to work, provide for their children, provide for their family. And even if Pop or your grandpa, even if he did go slide off with a woman, he will have a whole nother family that he's taking care of, as well as his household that, his original household. But the point is that Black man knew that if he was going to slide off, he knew that he would have to provide for that woman, and a child will come out of it, and he has to provide for that child. So what I'm trying to get here is that these were times where our family structures was trying to get back. Now, I know I'm kind of a little all over the place, but just walk with me and it's going to get better. Now, let's just talk about, because we're really about to turn it up now. So, and I should have did this first, but let's just talk about what men and women relationships should look like, and let's just talk about what marriage is, and well, let's just talk about what the purpose is. It's like we have to go back to elementary school. This is how much we are in bad shape as a society, and I'm gonna prove that shortly. If we look at and I'm not going to lie, I'm not stuck, because I don't know what I want to say, but it's just so important that we get this, because the purpose of the man and the woman coming together is actually to create family. It's to create a peace of mind. It's to create a bond. It's to create a sense of security, right? It's to create a situation where you are protected in the society. It's protection for the men and it's protection for the women. It's a protection that is emotional, physical, economic when it comes to the two individuals, but it's for family development. Family development creates communities. Communities then become nations. Do we understand? So when you are creating or laying down with that man or that woman, it seems like we forgot this. When we are doing that, the purpose of it is not how many times you can orgasm. It's not how many times you can do it within the night, but there's a purpose for it. And so a civilized being is different from an uncivilized being. So when we come into life and we're in our mother's wombs, when we're in the wombs of our mother, when we're shot out of our father into our mothers, when that child is starting to develop in the womb, that is a life that should be created for a purpose. And that purpose should be to benefit not only the family members, meaning the mother and the father, but also to benefit the society, to also benefit from the society. All of this is going to make sense. So then we went through a period of, 1980s, 1970s, 1980s, where, these programs of welfare housing and in the projects and Section 8s and all of these different things came into effect. There was the system further aided in spreading us apart because the women were empowered with opportunities. They were empowered with economic opportunities where they were essentially given homes. They had children, so the government gave them a home. The government gave them money. The government gave them protection. And with that protection, they said, listen, when we come by for the inspection, we better not see nobody there. Because we're doing this for you, they don't say this, but this is what's essentially being said, is that at the end of the day, we're providing for you. We are your man, so no man is allowed to be in the home, but at the same time, we're not really your man. And so our women essentially allowed this to happen. And some of it is for good purpose reasons, absolutely. But we're going to see shortly that a lot of it is a selfishness that needs to be changed. And a lot of it is because we have not truly become civilized, but yet we are in a natural state, which for a human being, well, before we say that, if we say natural state, you'll say, oh, that's good. But for a human being, it's a little different because our nature, we're not bound to natural tendencies, being bound by those natural tendencies without a moral compass. So this is what separates us from all other species on the planet, is that we can systematically understand what is literally going on, what needs to be done to make a situation better, etc. We can actually come out of the desire just to feed on our mother's breast, the desire just to have sex. We know that this is why we have institutions of marriage, etc., etc. This is why we create laws. This is why we have divine guidance and legislation, so that we can do what? So that we can benefit from one another. So we was made to fight against each other, the black men and black women. We've been made to fight against each other, and that fight is still going on to this very day, at this very moment, at this very time. And majority of the people watching are going to be able to identify with what I'm saying if they are in a right mind, or they are lost and they are part of the problem, because we need restructuring and family development. Now let's talk about our women. Let's talk about the women for a moment. See, the black woman has, unfortunately, regardless as to why, we understand that there are certain things that happen to us, certain things that continue to happen to us, that divide us. But now is the time. It's been past time, so we're overdue. It's been past time, so we're overdue to creating and getting back our family structures, because we deserve it, and damn it, our children deserve it. Our children deserve it, and we deserve it. But a lot of our women, let's talk to the sisters real quick, and then I'm going to come to you brothers. Hold tight. No, matter of fact, let me reverse that. Let me go to you brothers first. Let's do that. And sisters, sit tight, because I'm going to come for you. But let me go to the brothers first, because why? Because the brothers are natural leaders. Supposed to be anyway. We're supposed to be natural leaders. Meaning that it's in your blood, it's in your testosterone to protect, to provide, and to secure. To protect, to provide, and to secure. This is your job, your natural inclination for any real man. Now, I know we have a lot of bati boys, so it's a lot of confusion in these days and time as to what qualifies being a real man. But I'm going to tell you brothers this. For too long, have you been punctified and chumped out by another man, and then you allow the system of that other man to control and to manipulate the minds of your women to the point that they put you outside the damn house, like you Dino from Fred Flintstone. Remember Fred would go in the house and then Dino be in the house, and he'd take Dino and put him outside the door. Right? You allowed your women to do this. You allowed your women to pacify you. Due to your cowardice, due to you being a coward, due to you not being willing to literally give up your life to ensure that your tribe, your children, your woman, or your wife, or your wives can be secure. You haven't given her back her identity. You haven't taken her identity. Excuse me. You haven't backed that sister up and our women up, because we've been taught to be afraid. Very afraid. And so you don't want to do, black men don't want to do what's necessary, because you sitting here, oh, she won't let me. Oh, she keeps saying, oh, she got Section 8 or this government program and we can't do this. Oh, I can't work. Oh, I don't have a job. Oh, the white man is on me. Yes, and some of that is plausible and absolutely true. And we have to work around that. But the point is, every man want heaven, but no man want dead. Every man wants heaven, but no man wants dead. But I'm going to add to it. Every man wants heaven, but no man wants dead. But a real man would take death to get to heaven. And that heaven I'm talking about now is in this life as well as the next life. You know, and in our society, amongst the black men, we hear these slogans. We hear these little, you know, things where, you know, MOB, money over the bitches, money over the women. You know, we are, you know, but you put seeds in these women, and then you allow them to take your children and do what they want with those children amongst other men, their family, and the society. This is where the black man has failed his woman. You have failed your woman. And you continue to fail your woman because you're stuck on boy mode. Prancing around like you're a man. But real men protect, provide, and secure. And we also love. We also can show kindness. All of those different things. But to protect, provide, and secure. If you can't do that, you're only a male. So that's the problem. We have so many males out here that have yet to become men. So our women, they lose respect for us. But it's time to get that respect back. And I'm going to tell you how to do that a little later. But shame on you for exposing your women. How you expose your women? Because you didn't protect them. The women walking in the society in the United States of America, they walk in the society how they walk because they was given permission to walk like that, not by the men that is naturally attached to them, but by other men that are conquerors. You are a conquered man. Black man and woman, you are a conquered man, brother. We having so many conversations about, and people may say, well, Brother Bashir, it sounds like he's getting into what they call it, a chauvinist or something like that. But the reality is that men is going to protect, provide, and secure, whether that's emotionally, financially, mentally. It's a man's genetic responsibility to lead his family, period, to the promised land. And any man that fails to do that, or any male that fails to do that, should not be called a man. You done heard so many people say this before, Brother Bashir, but why the hell we can't get right? So we are destroyed because we do not want to. I'm going to tell you the big reason why we're destroyed. Give me a few moments. The big reason. These are the little reasons that seems like big reasons to you. But this is small stuff compared to what I'm about to bring to you and give you. I'm about to feed you this good food. But no. Black men, we have placed ourselves in an inferior position. And until you like, imagine all of these brothers out here in the United States of America that actually sag their pants with their gluteus maximus out, with their butt out. You could go all over the place. It doesn't matter if it's the project level or if it's what would be perceived as the prestige level. You know, the guys with money, class, you know, entertainers and all of that. They millionaires still say, how can males say they are men if they are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, still sagging their plans? What men on the planet is respected that do that? Well, brother, this is just a rebellion. Yeah, maybe you are rebelling, but it's time to stop rebelling against ourselves, stop working against ourselves, and work for ourselves. Black man, to be honest, it's your turn, but you are part and is the problem. Oh, you're the problem. Whatever black men, whatever we are trying to lead, and you're like, oh, he's breaking up black men because I want you to wake the hell up. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or Israelite or non-Muslim or whatever it is you are. At this point, it doesn't really matter what you are at this very point. What we need you to be is a critical thinker. What we need you to be is a person that is proactive, not the person that's going to use the crutch and, oh, this happened to us, so I'm still going to be, walk this earth like I'm beat down. Because no matter how depressed you are, no matter how sad you are, you don't want to kill yourself. Oh, some of us do, of course, but that's the exception to the rule. Majority of people, no matter how bad life gets for them, majority of us still want to live. Majority of us will not try to hold our breath till we pass out. And in fact, the body cannot even do that. It's difficult to create self-harm because it goes against self. The first law of nature was his self-preservation. But black man, if you're not going to literally preserve your physical self, which is you and your woman. See, that's what we're not understanding, black man, is you and your woman or women. Yes, I did say woman or women. But brothers, is a lot of us. If we being real and we being men, we would say these same things. Because if you had a daughter, would you want your attitude on how the typical black man would treat that child? You wouldn't want that. You'd be like, not my daughter, but you do it. But you do it. So we can't get the brothers to pull up their damn pants. Like you can't even have a good fight. That's why niggas shooting now. I mean, you can't even strap up and protect your woman. And all we do is kick your pants and fall to your ankle and you fall into the ground, bro. It's not hard to defeat you. An intelligent person would know how to defeat you. But black man, I will say this, but you are the cream of the crop. That's just a fact. Despite how messed up we are, the world still looks at us for guidance, still looks at us to be a beacon of light. They praise us in our ignorance. Black men, they praise us in our ignorance. But we need to make the world praise us for our contribution to the betterment of our nation, our society, and the world at large. We need them to know that our contributions to society in real time in 2021 is the development of ourselves and our family, and we're going to do what we need to do. Now let's move on so we can, keep the ball rolling. In America, majority of our households, it's statistics that say 70%, 75%, majority of our households are ran by women. So statistically, it is women, and a lot of us men know that we grew up with single mothers or a half of so-called man in the home. A half a so-called man in the home, but a majority of us grew up in a single mother household. And throughout all of your the sisters, all of the sacrifices that you make, all of the things that you do to hustle and to get your your life together, all those sacrifices. The black women, you run and you say, oh, we work hard. I'm a mother and a father. That's just think about what you're saying, because you can't be a good mother nor a good father. Because if you don't have the desire to ensure that if you're going to bring babies in the world and you are left with those babies, you know they're your responsibility. So why aren't you cultivating great behaviors in your sons so they can grow up to be good men? You say you know what a good man is by saying what a good man ain't. Majority of you sisters, you say what a good man is by telling us what a good man is not. Sister, you have turned your back on your black man. And I don't want to hear that, oh no, but they do this. No, sis, sit down and listen. Because the reality is, and if it don't apply, let it fly. But guess what? These shots are hitting on target. And this goes for the masses that's watching. Guaranteed, the masses that's watching. You don't really love your children. A lot of you. What is this nigga talking about? You don't really appreciate and have a real love for your children. What you have, majority of you, what you have is a natural inclination to love that which was growing inside of you and that you birthed. This is a natural inclination to love. The love I'm talking about is the civilized love. Civilized love. That means that not only do I naturally love that came from your womb, brothers that came from your loins, but sisters, the baby that came from your womb. We know your households. You may teach your children A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A majority of you know that after first, second grade, third grade work, it's a wrap. I'm saying that you're not even putting the attention to the children to cultivate the best in them so they can become better, despite all the hard work you're saying you're doing, despite all the hours you may say you work. Despite all of that, you're not making a way to ensure that our children are developing, that your children are developing into productive citizens, to productive family members in your household. Oh, you don't think this is true? You think this Muslim Bashir is just telling lies? Sister, you have become an enemy to your family. And since majority of you are the rulers of your family, you have the responsibility and the accountability to do what's necessary to ensure that our children are developing, and that you're not doing it because since majority of you are raising these boys and these girls, you are handicapping us, your children. You're handicapping us because you're too lazy, because you became superficial, because you want the baby but not the family. Let me explain. Let me explain. See, majority of you are having babies and they're not planned. Don't lie. Don't you tell this. Don't lie like a rug. Majority of the women allow men to impregnate them without a contract, without the marriage of the institution of marriage. You birth unplanned babies. You know that you are the woman that has a womb. And so I guess we got to go back to 5th grade, 6th grade sex education. And if you guys get together and do some bumping and grinding, a child can be produced. But then you say, okay, one bad dude, he's no good. He's a dog. Girl, he's a dog. Girl, he's a dog. But you look inside your house, you have another baby. And then you have another one. Not going over 3 nowadays too much. And typically, there is a multiple men that have ejaculated in you, and you created life, and then you say he's a loser, but then you go do it again. But then you had another plan. See, you so smart. You got another plan where you say, well, I'm going to have all the sex I want because these guys ain't nothing. But you know what? If I get pregnant, I'm just going to take the plan B. Or if I get pregnant, I'm just going to go to Planned Parenthood. You don't even understand Planned Parenthood connected with eugenics, connected with Margaret Sanger and that whole crew, connected with destroying the black family. But you just thinking about yourself and not the family. So that's the difference between you and Big Mama, because Big Mama was a real woman, and these women of today's time, and I'm gonna say majority of black women in America, in particular, majority of our women have been giving up the whole idea of truly being a true wife and having a real family. Because you're willing to cut off your nose and spite your face. If you have a relatively decent guy doing good for you, a lot of the women play him. And by play, I mean that they take advantage of him. He's a sucker. And a lot of women has traded in their feminine qualities to replace them with masculinity, because men are so bad that we can sleep with and do whatever we want. We wanna have multiple partners like men have, or want, or desires. But you know what's foolish about that? The men that's doing that, their job is not actually to hold the baby. So perhaps the nature of the man, or the nature of some men, is to repopulate. That's what the semen is for. That's what the womb is for. To procreate, to create life. Sister, brother came and tell you, sister, it's not a good corner for you to be on. Go ahead, sister. Why don't you go in the house? Don't tell me. I'm grown. I'm grown. The black woman has become so grown, which, by the way, only means that you have physically gained strength or and developed, right? And then some things that you didn't do in your adolescence, such as like, your sexuality, you go through a puberty stage, and then there's development but to be grown does not mean that you're actually mature in your mindset, or you're actually mature to function in the civilization in a beneficial way. No, that's not what it means. So when you women are saying I'm grown and no man controls me, First of all, on the grown part, we understand that your body has developed, and you got some breasts and you got a vagina, and you can determine what is hot and cold. We get that. But to be a woman, a true woman, is to understand your purpose and your nature. And it's to use intelligence. It's to use intelligence. So I'm going to sum this up, and I want to give you guys some solutions. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you the big picture. And I could have still went in and, you know, said some things, but I really want to get to some of the solutions, and that is going to see if you really want to increase your chances of the success that we will profess from our mouths that we want with a spouse. But the reality is that, you know, and let me just say this, Black women, please stop saying you're strong. Black men don't want us, or we not like other women because we're strong. You're not strong. You're not strong from the standpoint of understanding your position and what you need to do. You're no longer strong in that. You're weak. You're weak. In fact, you're weak as hell. In fact, you're weak as hell. Because the reality is that when Black men try to, you know, actually stand up and be a man with you, sister, you will rebel all day on him. But the college professor or boss at work, or if you have some government program, all of you have something in common. All of you have one thing in common. No matter if you on in the projects getting welfare, or you in college as a Black woman, or you're a business Black woman. When those white folks tell you to move, jump, report here, be there, inspection here, there, you have no lip and you're no longer strong, you're obedient. You're submissive. These words you don't like. You don't want to use the words. A woman don't want to use the word submit to my man, be obedient to my man. Majority don't want to hear those words. Let's go to it. It's no secret. This is the big elephant in the room. See, the small stuff that seem large, you know, as it pertains to the problems with our family structure, is that you've forsaken the Almighty Creator. Oh, listen to him, this religious guy. Nah, nigga. Sit down. Imagine I'm the white man telling you to sit down and hear me now. You forsake the Creator. And that's why you can't get yourself back. Well, brother, what are you talking about? Let's first do this. Majority of the babies born in the Black family are born out of wedlock. What is wedlock? Not being married. Majority of our children born in the Black family structure is what? Not out of wedlock, which is not being married. Let's just go back to the beginning real quick. To run a successful slave plantation with Black people on it, you had to make a disconnect with the Black man and woman and have the Black man just go to the Black woman and have sex with her, and then she pushes out that child, and that's how the cycle goes. So we look without the chains and the shackles. Without the chains and the shackles. And somehow you're still there. Because when you had the Creator, whether it's biblical, whether it was Quranic, or whatever you had, which was primarily that Bible. Now let's just listen. Because majority, first of all, do we see how those two, how contemporary times and the past times actually merge together, and we see the same problem being produced? But these people don't really care. So you profess, majority of our women profess Christianity. Majority of our women profess Christianity. So what the hell happened to the 10 Commandments? How are you black women that's professing that they are Christians and I'm just, the Lord is my shepherd and thou shalt not want? Thy kingdom come. Oh, now that I'm saying that, look at your children. The majority of our women profess Christianity. They don't even say prayer over their food. They don't even say prayer over their food or teach their children to say prayers over their food. But these women, majority of them, are having babies out of wedlock and they profess God. You a liar. See, the problem is that you play games with the Creator, and so because you're playing those games, you're not going to be able to see the divine guidance and wisdom that's coming to protect you and save you from the Maury show. But you, sister, like it. Y'all went insane. You went insane. In 2021, majority of our families are blended families, nuclear families. They have all these terminologies for them. That means that our majority of our families is not mother, father, and our children together. Majority of our families is, oh, that's a baby father. She got 2 baby fathers, and now it's me. She have a baby father, and now it's me. Now it's me. Now it's me. Sister, y'all have, you talk about, well, men is this. Nah, sis, you are a woman what's supposed to represent innocence. And when a woman doesn't represent innocence, I don't care what child you ask. Ask a boy child in particular. But when your mother was taking you to school, remember when you was 5 years old or 6 years old, when your mother took you to school, you didn't want your mom going to the school in her pajamas or the rollers in her hair. Why didn't you want that? Because your mother is something that's sacred, something that's special, something that's beautiful. It should be presented in a particular way. In a good way. Yes. This is true. This is true. But you do what? What do you do? So our children are going to and so I know you're about to jump in. I know I've been long-winded. How much more time do I have, or should we just, I don't know.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, go ahead. And we'll take questions whenever you're done, brother.
All right, so I'm just 10 more minutes or less, and I'm gonna be done because I gotta give you the truth. I gotta give you the truth. And despite how you're feeling, or despite you think I have some hidden agenda, there's nothing that's comparing to the Islamic system on anything. But right now we're talking about the family structure. There's nothing comparing to the family structure on Islam. You know why? Because it's that old time religion. What do I mean by that? It is a system that has been in place before the advent of the Quran, but I'm going to keep it basic for you and say, since the advent of the Holy Quran in the 1440 something years, in that time period, oh, the most Allah is so wise. And from this time period, Divine guidance was set in place to actually help you in a time where it was actually needed. And what you had before, you lost. This is why majority of our women profess Christianity. This is the black woman, not the black man. Majority of our women profess Christianity. Oh, and by the way, I don't care if you're saying that you're an Israelite, and don't get mad with me because I'm not going to stay on this subject. But I don't care if you're an Israelite. If you are in the New Testament, talk to me. If you are in the New Testament, Old Testament, or whatever testament, bear witness to the truth. Bear witness that first, the majority of the people that have clinged to or agreed to create a covenant with that book or an agreement with that legislation, you must admit or agree that they don't know the legislation at all. Like, they can't recite the Lord's Prayer to you. They can't recite scripture to you for real at all. And they damn sure can't recite the commandments. And on top of that, they damn sure don't follow it. But there's a reason for that. And that's because, which, you know what, I'm going to have to hold that because I don't want to take this somewhere else. But I'm telling you right here and now that Al-Islam, you better look at it. If you haven't studied, you better come and sit. You better come and learn, because what you think you are discarding or disregarding as Al-Islam, and you say this not for me or for us. Oh, how you are mistaken. Oh, how you're mistaken. But nevertheless, I want to go to the Quran real quick in conclusion. And just a couple of verses here. And I just want to explain the Islamic concept of family structure and what it means. And I'm going to use this verse from Surah 4, chapter 4 of the Holy Quran is Al-Nisa. And it's verse 35. If you're using a non-Ahmadi Quran, which is the true Islam Ahmadiyya, it'll be 36 in a non-Ahmadi Quran and 35 in the Ahmadi Quran. And it says, men are guardians over women because Allah has made some of them excel others, and because men spend on them of their wealth. So virtuous women are obedient and guard the secrets of their husbands with Allah's protection. And as for those on whose part you fear disobedience, admonish them and keep them away from their beds, chastise them. Then if they obey you, seek not a way against them. Surely Allah is great, is high and great. I want one more Quranic reference. One more Quranic reference. And this is Surah Taha, with chapter 20, verse 51. Moses said, our Lord is he who gave unto everything its proper form and then guided it to its proper function. Let's read this once again. Our Lord is he who gave unto everything its proper form and then guided it to its proper function. Let's pay attention. So as the family dynamic is concerned, our Quran teaches us and told us, and Allah has shown us that Allah has created things in perfect form. It has a form. So the form that we are in regards to a relationship, is very important. I'm gonna come to that in just a second. But then it goes on to say, it goes on, and matter of fact, let me quote this because yeah, we want to make sure you get it tonight. We get it this evening. Our Lord is he who gave unto everything its proper form, and then guided it to its proper function. So, woman, you were created not only properly, but you were created perfectly for your function, sister. And brother, you were created perfectly for your function. But you're not functioning in your function, which is called dysfunction. So when you're outside of your feminine nature, not feminism or the feminine movement, but if you're not in your feminine womanly self, your natural loving protecting self, why do you think you have so much estrogen? Why do you think men have so much testosterone? One fuels for physical thought, physical work, and the other fuels on the ability to be able to love a particular way and to adore pain a particular way and to think a particular way based on those feminine genetics. So women are able to do things that men are not, and men are able to do things that women are not. And that's because we're in our proper form, playing our roles, our proper role. So when we go to the man, Allah says that the men, to be a Muslim man, we have an obligation to do what? To provide, protect for, and secure our family, and to make sure that we are loving them and being responsible. This is by legislation. This is by legislation. The men and the women have particular rights. I'm not going to go into these things. Inshallah, God willing, Allah willing, I'll come back, and then some other things we can have discussions on while I go into some particulars. But I would love to explain the rights and accountability that we have in this Holy Quran that we have, that will, with no doubt, it will create the family structure that we already needed. The family structure that we once had, that was sound. But you gave up the Creator, and so He gave you up. It's as simple as that. That's the big elephant in the room. Because if you was listening to divine guidance, even if you're a damn atheist, but you're intelligent, but if you're an atheist, are you really that intelligent? That's debatable. But nonetheless, if we know what adultery is or fornication is, like, well, what's adultery? That's cheating on your husband. Well, what's fornication? Well, that's having sex without marriage. Before marriage. Both of them are forbidden. So how can the masses of the people that profess that book, that Bible, profess to be Christianity, the masses of those people are women, how can we take them seriously? We can't take you seriously, sis. All right? Brothers, it's our obligation as Muslims to provide for our women, take care of our women with no question. With no question. You are the leader of your home. Take the leadership of your home, but don't take it like a caveman. Don't take it like an oppressor. Don't try to get your woman out the hands of oppressor so you just can take her and oppress her and subjugate her. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So in conclusion, family, I'm going to say that our family structure is very important, and that is the bulk of what Al-Islam is about. The secret to what we call Al-Islam is just two parts. One, there's a part that shows our accountability, our responsibility, our recognizing our Almighty Creator. Then the other part, the second part, and there's only two parts, is how we deal with one another in the world and society. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala May Allah the Most High increase us. May He help us, become better parents. I mean, may He help us, be better servants to Him. I mean, and may all of our families be prosperous. May all of us be successful if we hold to and hold fast to our Almighty Creator. Get back to our Creator. Get back to the God-fearing person. Get back to God consciousness. This Black consciousness, I think, is important, but it does not supersede God consciousness. So we are definitely, can say that, the Noah story not real. There was no ark, there was no flood. But damn it, I can see a flood right now, and I got an ark, and that ark is Al-Islam Ahmadiyya. Islam Ahmadiyya. That's for you. That's for you. It will benefit you. So when you tired, let me use Suge Knight. When you tired of getting pimped and played and having babies by multiple women, and you tired, bro, of dealing with, these hoes and different area codes, and she ain't gonna treat you right, and come on over to Islam Ahmadiyya with your brother Bashir Abdullah. Come on over here. You don't want no more shiny suits, and you want to get it for real. Come over here, and we're gonna get you right. But in all seriousness, man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, increase us in the knowledge, those that want it, and those that are the enemy of ours, that's trying to get our families back, that's trying to, do what we feel is best and what is producing, great children. Anything against that, may Allah destroy them time and time and time again. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
All right. Shout out to the Imam for laying down the truth. And so we're gonna pass this now over to if you got any questions, just hit the link and you can come in and you can ask them any question that you like. We want to be respectful. So we have Domo in the building. You could go ahead and unmute your mic, and any questions or comments, go ahead, feel free to ask.
All right. So, Imam Bashir. First, before I get into the question, I just got to say that was extremely counterproductive. Like what you in 2021, like what you thought you were doing wasn't really that. Like we have to move past really pathologizing black people. Right, creating this boogeyman of this black person that does this and this black person that does that, and framing our social understanding around that pathologization, right? Because that's essentially all that took place. It was black people aren't doing, and then insert whatever value judgment or value claim or whatever. You know what I mean? But even with that being, even with the counterproductive nature of what was said, especially in as it pertains to kind of creating some form of unity or understanding amongst black people. I want to get to where you began, when you were talking about like what marriages used to look like. Now, it's you're under the perception that the way that our grandparents and great grandparents went about marriage was the ideal way for us today that we should approach it. That's a question.
All right, brother. I appreciate your question, but before your question, I want to answer it. I would appreciate if I got a peace, brother Bashir, brother Imam, peace. How you doing, bro? So, I mean, dang, brother, where the love at? I got you. You don't got to. I just was saying where the love was at, bro. Give me the love. I'm
well, no, that's that conscious community thing, though. I don't really do that peace, brother. Like, nah, we got something to talk about.
That has nothing to do. See, these are the first things I'm talking about, which is a learning lesson. I'm gonna answer your question, but there was a teachable moment there. See, we're talking about. Hold on, brother. I am. Just relax. First of all, I'm a guest here. Second of all, I'm a man here talking about man shit. All right.
And
So
again,
hold
all
up,
of
pause,
that's
bro.
empty
Pause,
rhetoric,
bro.
bro.
Pause, bro. So when I
Like,
said,
yeah.
when I said I should have simply got like a piece. How you doing, bro? Whatever. You know what I mean? That's not a conscious community thing, brother. That is a black respectful thing. Before we knew about a damn conscious community, our
Nah,
parents taught. Hold up,
yeah. I listen. I mean, come
our
on, bro.
parents taught
We
us.
keep.
Our parents
It's a
taught
question
us
that I asked.
when we meet somebody, we say hi.
Imam, you got an echo, so we got to get the echo straightened out because it's messing with. I don't think y'all kind of hearing each other all the way.
Well, look, I stop talking so he can say whatever it is that he's trying to say, and then we could get to the question. So
All
we
right.
can just talk one. We can
Yeah,
talk one
because
at a time.
when I unmute his mic, that's when the echo is going to begin. So if you talking while his mic is unmute, it's going to echo. All right.
Yeah. We'll just do it one at a time.
All right. So Imam, you got something that you want to say?
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be long winded, but the reason why I'm stuck on this part, and I shouldn't be stuck on this long. See, this is what I'm talking about. We have to improve on our relationships, how we dealing with each other as human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like all I said was, brother, it would be nice if you can say peace or a hi, or this is protocol for any respectful conversations. And this is why I'm having the damn conversations that I'm having now. But nevertheless, yes, to answer this question, peace to my brother. May peace be upon him. um, is what our grandparents had ideal? And the question to that is, no, it's not the most ideal, but it's ideal in retrospect to where we are now. So if we can there's always levels of improvement, and there should never be a cap to us improving ourselves. But we should always continue to move and get stronger and stronger generation after generation. That's the point.
So what's the impact? And let me say this: the
Hey,
conversation that was had, like what was said, it was nothing respectful about that. So the energy that you getting is more so. This is what I feel is deserved, given the message that you came to the platform with. I don't respect this conversation. So what I'm pointing out is when you bring up, because you compare it to today and you say it's worse than it's better than whatever it has that we have today. But one of the key things that you pointed out was that men at that time, even though it was like, as you try to say, was family based and family oriented, men at that time had whole other families, right? What was the impact of men having entire other families while black women were at home with their family? You know what I'm saying? On the black family as a whole.
real
Because
quick,
when you brought
Bashir, why don't you try to leave out and come back in to see if the echo goes away? But go ahead.
and the reason why I'm asking the question is because when he brought up the fact that men had other families, he just kind of brushed over it and was like, yeah, but they took care of both of them families. Like, nah, bro, it don't work like that. Like if the conversation is situated around how we as a people orient ourselves to families, black families, then you can't romanticize and then at the same like literally romanticize and big up a time period where relationships still didn't mean what you think they trying to mean and what you say it don't mean now. Like the willingness and the openness, even when you got somebody that's a religious leader, a social leader, somebody like Martin Luther King, who has a long history of philandering. When men don't respect their relationship, what is the impact of that on the black family? Like niggas have no problem getting calling niggas weak.
Hold up, Salam alaikum.
Yeah, we good now.
We have an echo now,
No,
or
we
did
good.
it
We
clear?
good.
Nah. Yeah, I'll say this and then you can answer.
So I let
We had
y'all
no
rock out. I'm gonna
problems.
fall back.
We got no problems calling them weak. We got no problem saying you got to protect, you got to do all of this other shit. But then when we're talking about the issues with the woman, we're talking about how she carry her body, right? Like what she does between her legs. But we'll gloss over and romanticize what we know about black men and not staying in the home in terms of what in their pants. So
Okay.
please.
Okay. So
How do you reconcile?
Well,
just to make the question clear, how do you reconcile that contradiction?
okay. So I'm going to answer all of that, and I'm glad you asked me that question, and I'm going to give you an answer. However, I have something in my mind that I want to ask you, and I'm thinking it's true. I just want you to verify it. I believe you was raised by a single woman. Is that true?
No.
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So,
and this is, and I take
on.
this as disrespect. I take this as disrespect. What you're doing right now. I'm pointing that out because instead of just addressing what we're talking about, I don't need you psychoanalyzing me. I don't need you trying to create some interpretation of why I stand on what I stand on, because you don't know me. So it's best if we just keep it to what's being said instead of trying to create some narrative, because again, that's a part of your problem in how you frame black people in the first place. You pathologize black people just the same way you attempted to pathologize men who were raised by single mothers.
All right, stop. Let me answer the question now, because and brother, if you felt any disrespect, that's not my intention. But don't get it twisted. That's not play that, oh, you being respect, because I'm not here to disrespect anybody.
I didn't say that you was. That's why I respectfully told you. I respectfully told you. Let's not do that.
No, but what you did, my brother, was you started off with that, then you talk about the energy. But I'm gonna come, and I'm gonna let the people be edified. So first of all, I perfectly explained the question that you're asking, so I'm not sure if you even was listening to what the hell I was saying, because I did talk about Papa actually going to have a whole nother family.
And what'd you say about that?
So what I'm telling you is that you sound like these broken women that's getting emotional because they mad.
What did you say about that?
Finish. Don't cut me off, bro.
When you start talking about, listen.
I'm
when you start talking about what I sound, okay, cool. Well, cool. Well, I say what I got to say and I dip. I say what I got to say and I dip.
No, I'm the guest.
I say what I got to say and I dip.
What you gonna do?
Hey,
wait.
Why don't y'all allow?
No, it's cool,
allow him
bro.
to answer
it's like,
the question, and then you make your final statement, brother.
Nah. You know what? I got the keys, bro. It's all good. If this is how, because I understand why these niggas do this. It's like, Solar, I want to do an interview because you can't have a dialogue. So since you can't have a dialogue, I'll have a dialogue without you. It's as simple as that.
You can have it without me, but if you address me as nigga again, bro, we're gonna have a problem. You address me as my name, either Brother Bashir or Imam Bashir. That's what you want to do. That's what's gonna happen. Because this damn internet talk that you talking, this is why I'm talking about men. Now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it now, and I'm not gonna even go that hard, because my thing is to actually try to show and educate. I gotta educate a lot of these so-called black men, because you're acting like a female. That's what you don't understand. Now you want to make this an issue of polygyny? That's a whole different conversation. But that Pop having another woman, it doesn't matter as long as he's taking care of his damn family. It doesn't matter as long as he's taking care of his family. He can have 100 damn women, but as long as he's taking care of his family, that's okay. So it is a weak so-called man that will come and tell you that it's a problem because you have multiple women. But the real issue is, are we providing and taking care of that woman? So it's a big conversation over it. How? You ain't say none of the facts. None of the facts that I said was brought out, which was facts. The questions was asked that are already actually answered through my presentation. And then look and behold. See, this is why we have to raise our awareness, because they against the development of our family structure. So, Solar, please give me this last thing and I'm done. So
you have another person that's want to ask a question.
Cool. Any man that has to say something about polygyny, don't bring your damn question to me. If you are a man, if you have a problem with men having multiple wives, Negro, don't bring that question to me. Send a woman to ask me that question. Send a woman to ask me the question, because we have women out here that have children that need to be provided for. We have women out here that don't have children but need a man to provide for her. We know that men outnumber women. We know that in today's time, we got a lot of our men that want to be women. A lot of our men are up in the prisons. A lot of our men are in the damn closet. Excuse me, males are in the damn closet. Our men are for homosexuality. How did that happen? How did that happen? Now, we're going to go on to another show, but I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you now, any man that has a question about polygamy or about dealing with another woman, I don't have no rap for it. No rap for it at all. Send the sister to ask.
Hey man, who was you to sit up here and try to make call out
Hold on, Taz.
Hold on,
No,
you was going and you got the keys. Go do your keys, bro.
Cause look.
Go do your keys. Go do your keys.
If you would have stopped speaking on me, that's cool. I ain't got nothing to say to you either. I ain't talking to you either. I'm talking to the audience. I ain't talking to the audience. Good. This is how these niggas lie. This is why he had to try to bring up my mom and all this other shit to try to create some bullshit narrative to say, oh, you just them niggas wasn't polygamous.
Where's your family?
Them niggas wasn't polygamous.
Where's your family, nigga?
Hey, bro.
Where's your family, nigga?
Don't worry about where my family at. You sound stupid.
So where your family?
Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Get out of my house, nigga.
Why don't I just ask the questions and respond?
Nah. I'm gonna say what that's the point.
That's based off of the topic. Where is this?
That's what he doing. He
that's what I'm saying to both of y'all. Just kind of keep it with the
subject. I'm responding. He's lying about polygamy. The niggas that was cheating on their wives in the past wasn't polygamous, nigga. They was liars. Fuck is you talking about? Them niggas wasn't establishing, hey, we creating respectful boundaries. I have a wife here and I have a wife here. That's not what the fuck was happening. That's why these niggas is full of shit. He disingenuous than a motherfucker. Men did not have the respect for their relationship to tell the truth about actually saying, I want to have other wives. The wives that grandma found out about, she found out about them later. Them was secret fucking families. How the fuck he up here bragging about being a polygamist, but these men that he bragging for weren't even honest about what the fuck they was doing on the side? Fuck is this man talking about? The issue ain't about whether or not black people should be polygamous. That ain't even a fucking question. If you can maintain a polygamous relationship, do what the fuck you do. This is about families. And if a man is not honest with his wife, if he is doing things outside of his household, if he's not maintaining a healthy relationship with his fucking wife, then he's not centered around family. He's centered around his goddamn self. That's the fucking reality. Talking about all of these niggas who got issues with raising a family today, who the fuck did they learn it from? Who the fuck gave them the game? I can speak to it specifically. That's why when these niggas especially when old niggas get up here talking about what young niggas is the issue with going on with all these niggas, while they defend the bullshit that these niggas did, they have no credibility. He can't reconcile the contradiction behind saying that you got to stand behind black families. I just want to ask some questions.
I'm not here to debate. I just want to ask some questions and be out.
Came to the wrong
I'm done. I'm not doing the back and forth.
These niggas is weak.
So you're done with no more, brother?
I'm not doing the whole, soliloquy and all of that.
All right, so we got Taz in the building. Taz, you got a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, with all the stuff going on in the community, the battle truth thing, the polite thing, like, who the hell is he to do a statement making some type of issue and judgment on black women? Who the fuck is he? What has he done to even make that statement? Hello?
What's your question, bro? Say it again.
What the fuck have you done to be able to pass judgment on black women? What the
You
fuck have you done?
you can
Do you
go
speak
on
on black
ahead.
men?
Next,
Have you, bitch ass nigga, have you spoke on the shit men have done? Because that's what
so
you
what
ain't gonna
next?
do is pass me off. I don't give a
Oh,
fuck about your Imam.
next.
All right. So, you want to close out, brother?
Nah, if it's some more questions, I'll take questions all day.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay, cool. So I will conclude, and I'm going to say that what I was saying here today, listen to it again and come get further information, because this is the truth. This is how your family structure is going to be developed, and we should look into people's families. That's what we need. Like, we're so off of the path, that we can't see the forest for the trees. And this is what I'm saying about losing God consciousness, because there's no way there's God consciousness there with those two. There's no God consciousness there. And this is why they are displaying why black men cannot take over their communities and their homes. Those two brothers that came in cannot even control their community or the household based on what I said today. Because one, we can't even get.
You can't go in on them after you told me to kick them off.
No,
I mean,
no, they already said what they said. They came and said what they said when it was supposed to be a question or that wasn't relevant to nothing. So I was only responding what shouldn't have been said, but I'll stop. I'll stop.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, that's what the dialogue for. Yeah.
I got you. I'll stop. But nevertheless, there was a question of, Big Papa, she didn't know or nothing or do this and that. Like I said, a polygyny thing. It was asked, was that the ideal, type of thing? And I said, well, in comparison where we at now, it would be ideal relative to what we have now. Now, as we develop and we continue to grow, then we get better and better. Simple. Now, what gives you the right to speak about black women? Because I am the son of a black woman. I am of the black community. I am here to liberate my community, whether you deny it or don't like it. Period. I am a servant of Allah, whether you like it or not. Whether you reject the Quran or what I'm saying, what the Quran is saying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're still going to be victorious. And until we listen to the things that Allah has instructed us, that the Creator has instructed us, not Brother Bashir, I'm just relaying the message that's being relayed through me. Once we get these things that I'm saying, then your family's going to be better and your children going to be better and you're going to be stronger. That's 100% facts. But you circulate in contemporary times. Why are you talking about the women? Why are you talking about the women? Because our women have become victims and prey.
So
now it's time for our women to be protected. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, we got more people with more questions. We want to start off with the sister MJ.
Hey, hi, good evening, brother Bashir. How you doing?
Peace, Queen.
I just want to ask a question. Have you ever spoken to any elderly women in your household or in your family about how they felt about the family dynamics, if they follow the Quran or not?
Absolutely. And by Allah, this is true. And I actually have a short film coming out soon where I actually recorded the elders of my family. All right. This is my personal experience as well as secular experience studying the subject matter since 2008, pretty much. But nevertheless, my grandparents on my mother's side, alhamdulillah, married 65 years. 65 years. So I asked, how did this happen? What is that you guys did or whatever? And so, yes, we heard the stories and we hear the problems. We hear the issues. They have issues. They have problems, things they didn't like. We thought sometimes they wouldn't make it, but we knew we'll see it through. And that's the part I want to get to. So yes, did our elders, and particularly those women, were they hurt when they found out, for example, that her husband made a whole new family somewhere else? Absolutely. But for the most part, this is what you'll find if you're fortunate enough to find elders or speak to elders. For the most part, though, it didn't matter as to what really was going on. The important thing was to make sure the family structure was good, that the children were clothed, provided for, and that the personal thing, that my husband is over here, I'll deal with that, but I'm not going to allow it to affect my family. And her husband at the time generally was, the one working on the breadwinner, bringing all of that in, so of course they had problems with it, but they didn't sacrifice the family. They didn't cut off their nose to spite their face.
Okay, one more question. So, in the Quran, what is the punishment of a woman who is found to commit adultery? Can you tell us?
Yes, but I don't want your question to be to have a bias, this coming from it, because it's not different for men or women. It's the same. So if any man, a man or woman commits adultery, you get lashes. And according to, how severe it is and what really happened, it could be from 70 to 100 lashes for men and women.
And she can also be put to death, right, by the village if they see fit.
You will never find that. You will never find that in the Quran. So Quranically, no, that's absolutely not correct.
But it does happen in places that follows the Quran, correct?
I mean, you have crime and a lot of things that's not supposed to happen. It happen everywhere, doesn't it?
So, my question would be is, if you're saying that you spoke to your elderly family members before, and they said that they had problems and issues and things that hurt them and scarred them, but they, I guess, persevere through it all to have a long marriage. And she had the mindset of what you consider a true woman, not to break up the family or to put the family first before her feelings, her emotions, and her mental or psychological level. Then if a woman commits adultery and she gets the penalty of slashes or even possibility of death, do you think that's the same way of keeping the family together or in structured, or putting the family before the sins of the wife?
You kind of, okay, this is where I'm gonna go with it. One, if I'm understanding you correctly, I think I answered it, but I will answer a different way so maybe it can resonate of what I'm trying to say. And that is that it's not an issue of pain or something that you like in a marriage that doesn't fit well. The principles of a marriage is not about the two individuals, but the principles of the marriage is about the entire family structure. So that means that it's no longer, the guy and the girl, they talk and they he, ha, ha, they gain rapport with one another. But then what ends up happening is that a child is conceived and born. So when that child comes into the world, it takes precedence over even the male or the female. Now it's a unit, and now we together that came together to create this life, we have a responsibility to cultivate and bring this life up into, greatness. As far as the death is concerned, I told you that's not Quranic. So I don't want to, come hard like you're trying to push an agenda, but it's not Islamic. It's not. I don't care who's doing it. It's just not. You can't show me in the Quran that. So Islam is very hard on men and women as it pertains to adultery or fornication. There's no difference. It's called zina. So zina is a crime for men and women. If a man commits adultery or fornication, he get the lashes. If the woman do, she get the lashes. Why? Because you're destroying and breaking people's hearts. You're breaking families. You're being destructive. So that is to try to keep people from not being destructive. The same way your parents say, oh, you don't do this, I'm going to pop you and put you in timeout.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my questions. I'll
Thank
let
you.
the fellow brothers talk to you. Thank you very much.
But sister, if you can stay in the midst, because if you come up with another question, I would like to hear some more of the feminine energy. I want to speak to the brothers too, but I would like the brothers, like, you can ask any questions you want. I'm willing to talk about it, but I'm not here to debate or have a long discussion. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to just present what I want, give a question. And by the way, this sister done came and showed utmost respect as I would her when coming in the building. So we came and start there. But come on, let's get some more of these questions. Out of all that I said, I hope I get questions on stuff that I actually said. Like real stuff. I said a lot of pretty decent stuff. But come on, who we got next?
All right, Swab Boss is in the building.
Brother Swab Boss, peace to you, family. I don't know. The brother talking, he ain't talking. I don't hear nothing.
Must have some technical problems. A9 is in the building. What's going on, Anonymous?
Peace, brother A9, the champion, the SBDL champion. Season 3.
Yo, what's good with you, man? How you doing?
I'm maintaining, King. Thank you, black man. I appreciate you.
Mic check, mic check.
Swab Boss is back. You wanna let Swab go first, A9?
Yeah, let him go.
Yeah, Swab
Peace
Boss
to you, man. Shout out to the panel, Bashir. Solar, what's good?
Peace, man.
Peace.
You got it. The thing with me is the mentality, the order that's being displayed is kind of aged. Do you see any conflict with it as far as like the modern mind state of black people right now? Like, could you see that?
Can you rephrase? Help me understand. I heard what you said, but I'm trying to understand.
It seems kind of outdated, and that is not applicable to the modern black man and woman right now at this day and age.
Oh, you said. You asked it. Is the teachers of the Quran outdated? Like I was saying, in retrospect.
No. Just no. I'm not focusing on Islam or the Quran. I'm just asking, just in general discussion, right? Let's say polygamy. Like, what is the use or the purpose of polygamy?
Okay, so I got the polygamy thing. All right. So, I mean, polygamy is to make sure that the women and the children are provided and protected for at all times.
The women, do you have to sleep with the women to provide and protect for
them? Trick question. No.
Because I see a lot of people trying to marry the women and make children with them, and I'm like, why don't you just bring the women in, and you and your wife help them get to a respectable level, and then they could build their own family. They could be a good woman for a good man, and that just seems sensible to me than everybody just trying to marry women because they say, hey, they need to be protected, so she needs to be my wife.
Oh yeah, brother. I see where you're going, but let me say this. For one, I'm not saying by any way that, and I'm not. And the Quran says it best, that polygyny Islamically is not obligatory. That's for one. It's not obligatory. So that means that the Muslim men don't have to marry multiple women. However, it tells us and instructs us that if we do this, these are the reasons why, to protect the family or whatever, but you also have to have a mindset and the means to do so. You just cannot, Islamically, to be politically correct, you just cannot grab a woman and have bad intentions and, I'm going to marry you and not do my husbandly duties other than sleep with you. Then that is not even a marriage at all in Islam. You know what I'm saying? So there's multiple ways that people do things, but polygyny is one of the tools that we have. It's not the tool that everybody would use in the toolbox, but it is something that is beneficial for the people as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. When done healthy, you know what I'm saying. And once again, just to go back to get that question answered, I don't believe it was. The onus of setting the standard is on the man because we are the leaders, right? But then when certain systems break down, the women are highlighted in their actions. But like if we wasn't supporting those actions, they wouldn't exist. That's my feeling. So I just want to get that question. I believe the brother Domo was trying to what's the name? Did you answer that about fixing that contradiction between men being the leaders, but the women are the detriment or something like that?
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, and see, you answered. I mean, asked the question, and I heard it in a way where I comprehended it. So that's a good question. And so the answer to that is it's very simple. Men are naturally men men are naturally have a position. Women naturally have a position, but they are counterparts of one another. So when one falls short of the other is supposed to pick it up. And depends on what is happening in the society, what's happening in the situation, the onus and responsibility can be shifted because it's not in its natural state. So naturally, nobody in this room or listening to this should argue that the man is naturally not supposed to be the provider, protector, and securer of his situation. Because any woman that's in the home, and I don't care how God, somebody got background noise.
Man,
I
that
need to
shit
mute out. I
fire,
think
man.
Suave,
Yeah.
you got background noise, bro.
Oh my bad, I'll mute that. Hey, I'll just let you answer that, man. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to the
Appreciate you,
fam, man.
brother.
I'm out. I'll check it out from the chat.
Yes, sir. All right, all right. So let me finish that, and then we'll get to the next one. But um, the point is that if a man is in the house with a woman, and 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the glass you hear some noise or the glass break. If the man tells the woman, "Hey, babe, I think somebody broke the glass in the front door. Go check it out," she would look at that man. She would look at that man like a little boy. She would not respect him by her nature. She would not respect him because she expects him to be that one that's going to die for her. Period. You here to die for me at any time. That's what she is looking for if she's in her natural state. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to say man has a natural leadership position, but the woman also has a natural leadership position. And because the power had shifted over for many reasons to her, she now has a responsibility and accountability to get her family back. Simple.
All right. Queen Cascade is in the building.
Queen
Hi,
Cascade,
good
please.
evening. Good evening, Mr. Bashir. I'm not sure what to call you.
Whatever you want.
I haven't heard all of your interview. I've heard pieces. There was something that stood out to me when MJ asked you a question. So my question is based off what I was hearing. When's the last time a man that's committed adultery has had lashes?
Well, sister, in America, we don't have that law. So I'm not studying statistics in Arabia or other places, and I haven't mentioned to give lashes because we live in America. So you would go to prison for doing that. It's not a good look to do that, but it is something that is put in place in the Quran to prevent things from happening. And it's not supposed to be a bias. So even if you've seen a bias where men, and in a lot of so-called Islamic countries, you may see men having, this story where, they get all these different rights, and some of it is true, some of it is not. The point I'm trying to make, without being long-winded, is that Islam is equal. It's equally yoked. If a woman commits the crime, the male commit the crime. There's no difference on the scale. The scale is the same. Islam is that simple. 100 lashes. They did that. They did this. They're a thief. Off with their hand or lashes. So it's not supposed to be different or biased but to men or women.
So in regards to today in America, how do you hold women and men accountable for adultery? If that's the case, that happens in Muslim countries, and you're in America at this present moment, how do you hold men and women, specifically men, accountable for committing adultery and not upholding their family in America today?
Great question. Inside the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, which is a very special community where I know that all of us should take the time just to do some research on the community and what we stand on. But our community is tight knit. And so in America, all over the world in our community, but in America in particular, we're talking about now, we will excommunicate anyone that's found, guilty of an act such as adultery or fornication. What this means is that this person's name will be read at Juma, which is every Friday. It will say John Doe, is being excommunicated from the community for 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is, for adultery, X, Y, and Z, and that will be read out on Juma. And every masjid that we have, everyone in the community, no matter what state they are in, they will be notified that we will not associate with this person. We'll turn our back on this person. That person still can come to the mosque and pray, but those in our community will not greet them or speak to them until that punishment time is over.
So are you a part of that community that you were speaking about that does those practices?
Yes, ma'am. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in regards to that then, when's the last time you saw somebody get excommunicated?
Yeah, so the last time there was a brother that I'm not going to say his name because it was an offense that happened a couple of years ago, where, and it's about adultery, he was excommunicated for cheating on his wife, and we could not speak to him, and so that was about 2 years ago with that one. But there's excommunications that happen for stuff a lot. But as far as adultery, that was that one. So see, we don't have a lot of those problems as we do, when we come outside the community. That's how I know it works.
Okay, thank you for answering that question. I have another one, but I need a moment to think about it. If anybody else would like to ask questions?
We got A9 in the building.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Shalom, brakot, mishpachah. Peace, family. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessings to the family. Bashir. All right. So you were talking about gender roles, things like that, and just how the family works, right? When we look at statistics right now, I think we see about 4.25 million single Black mothers in this country right now, right?
I would say that's pretty low. I would say that statistic is really higher, but I would take it for the sake of argument.
I thought it would have been higher too, but I just looked it up. So let's just build right there from right there the perspective, right? I mean, that's what I got right now, so I'm just gonna rock with that. You said that our women were handicapping because they were lazy. That's what you said earlier.
And what was the context? I said what they were being lazy on.
Explain to me what the context was.
So you want me to present again? So basically, brother, this is what I say. Is I basically was saying, as far as like the education of the children, planning the children, like actually taking the time to say, I want to have a baby with this man, those type of things. She's been very lazy on. Preschool, we used to be kindergarten, then it was pre-K, and now there's pre-K 1, pre-K 2, pre-K 3. So, the women are sending our children to, these institutions, and yes, because a lot of them do have to work. You know what I mean?
Exactly, brother. That's the point I was getting.
Hold on. I just want to say this, King. I promise you. I'll say this, and then I'll listen to you. But what I've been saying during the presentation is that's not focusing on why this or why that. Because we know there's a lot of reasons why we are in a condition that we are in. But now it's time to say, okay, We know these things is happening. Let's get ourselves out. And that's what we need to focus on. But it seems like a lot of times we have these conversations, we want to focus on them, but they do this and they do that. No, let's have self-accountability for what we're supposed to do, because the family is what is important.
Okay, well then let's build from right there then. Then wouldn't it be more productive for men to be talking directly to men instead of telling women who are the single mothers that they're lazy?
First of all, once again, I don't know if we want to, and I'm sure it wanted to appease to the women, but there's no protection. The woman is safe here with Bashir. Oh yeah. But, and the reason why they're safe here is because I'm going to be honest with our sisters.
About the men though.
Hold on. First of all, I started on the men first.
I know.
Hold on.
You should have started there. Bro, you're talking around the question, fam. You know I respect you, bro, but I need you to talk about. So my issue is like we need to be speaking more to what men need to do, and the reason I'm saying that is because that's what the sisters is asking for. If you're talking about balance and bringing actual protection and all of the things that you was talking about through a gender role perspective, then we need to be talking to the man about saying, okay, black man, this is what our sisters is asking us to do. So let's get the focus in on us then. And so my concern once again is, how are we in a position to be telling women what to do when we need to be getting us right now?
Okay. And I'm gonna explain this, and after that, if you have another question, brother, ask it. But I'm gonna explain this, and this is why I was saying in the beginning. First of all, you come in to say like, "Oh, he just wanted to attack women." I'm not that emotional, so it really doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to talk to men and women because I control my community, and I'm responsible for the women in my care. And I have a sister, and I have a niece, and I have a daughter, and I have a mother that I had to bury. So I'm the product of the black woman. I am her. She raised me to do what I'm doing. So yes, I talked about the brothers first, but I'm going to talk to my sisters too, and we're going to get the whole ship in order. And anybody in the way going to have a problem because we getting our families in order. So if you ain't doing that, then you should be quiet. And if you are doing that, you should join in the effort. And if you want to do that, come to Islam Ahmadiyya. We're going to get the whole family straight. It don't matter. Let's get it.
Right. So you didn't answer the question. It's good.
I did answer the question. You ain't perceived the question.
Man, bro, my perception is extremely high. You know that. So the next point, come on, Imam. Like the next point that I kind of want to touch on is
not a point, brother. What's the question?
I can ask my question however I want to ask it, fam. All due respect.
No. It's a difference between a point. Come on, you're very articulate. You SBDL champion season 3. Now we're supposed to ask
no thanks to you, by the way.
But don't give me a lecture.
Thanks to you, by the way. Thanks to you, by the way.
Don't take it personal, brother.
I just want you to make a decision. Whether it was me and Taz, just make a decision, fam. That's all I'm saying. But that's a whole nother conversation.
And a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. Whether it was me and him, no. Just make a decision.
But hold on. I got a question for you. Why don't I have a right to address the women that birthed me and that affects my life every day? Why don't I have a right to speak on that?
Now let me show you how you answer a question. The reason I say that you don't have a right, because that's how you worded it. The way I would have worded it though is what we would prefer at this point is, so I would say the reason I would prefer you to go in more on what the men and focus on what the men are doing.
Now it's prefer.
I never said you didn't have a right. I'm just asking why. You perceived it as you didn't have a right. That's your perception.
Go ahead.
So back to what I'm saying. The reason that it would be more
I think that was Taz that said that. You want me to let him back on so he can ask that question?
Nah, he
as long as we ask him questions, but I'm not doing the everybody's been good. We've been having a great conversation.
All right, so I'll let Taz back on. Let's make an effort into keeping it respectful and not calling each other names and stuff.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and knock this out then. So then now, but the question then becomes, so you asking why, right? My thing is this: because it's not beneficial at the end of the day, right? As a leader, it's time for us to start, quote unquote, reading the proverbial room, right? And to read the room, one of the things that we need to understand is we got to get our stuff together. Now, I'm not saying that our sisters don't got things that they got to do. They readily admit that there are things that they need to work on. But we need to start readily admitting that there are things we need to work on. Making statements like the women are handicapping because they're doing certain things, when you readily admit most of that is because they're in a single mother situation. So now they got to go to work. They got to be mother, father, everything. And I'm not saying that every black man don't take care of home, because I do. I know you do. I know plenty of black men that do. But we got to also admit that there are millions of our sisters out here that's by themselves. So that's why it would be beneficial for us as men to focus more on what men need to do.
Okay, and I'm gonna keep building the men and the women and growing the families, and they're gonna keep joining Ahmadiyya, and we're gonna keep taking over. That's what we're gonna do. So
okay,
you do what you do.
And
hey, hold on. But I'm gonna tell you this. See, one thing that I'm not gonna allow to happen is as if I'm some, coming on YouTube try to talk guy. Nah, bro, I'm certified.
Where?
So, hold on.
By who?
Hold up.
Who certified you?
First of all, stop.
You ain't certified nowhere where I'm at, nigga. You ain't certified nowhere where I'm at.
I'm not doing that.
If I'm there, you're decertified. What are you talking about? You sitting here today, you can't even answer simple questions. You sitting here talking shit about black women. Niggas asking you a simple question based on the title of the stream. The stream is called Issues Judgment on Black Women, Black Men, Family. But when I'm asking you, how can you?
Taz, you got a question for him, brother? Because he wants you to ask the question. Remember that question that you had?
Okay, so I asked the same question again. What qualifies you to talk about black women?
Because I'm a black man, birthed from a black woman. That's it. Period.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not enough of a qualification. There are black men who are birthed from black women who kill black women.
Congratulations. You got another question?
I got one real quick.
Oh, so you gonna be disrespectful? You fat fuck. You fake gay feminine.
Come on, bro. Like really?
Let me just ask this last question.
Hold up. Pause real quick. Just for a second. That's all I'm asking. You see, now later on in life, we're gonna see how serious real life is when it mixed with YouTube. I'm done with that conversation. Let's see how real life is mixed with YouTube. Let's go. Come on, brother Adnan, please.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Can I ask a couple more questions?
This is my last question, MJ. This is my last question. Then y'all got it. Sure. Y'all got it. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to take up all the time. So according to the Bible and the Quran, basically, and I could be corrected. Doesn't it disseminate or make clear discrepancies or clear distinctions that women are to teach the young women, especially like our older sisters are supposed to focus on teaching the young women and then the middle-aged women on how to move into that space, and then men should focus on teaching men?
All right, so this how I'm gonna answer that. So some men, amongst the men, there are selected men that give a general teaching to everyone in the community. Then you have auxiliaries to the community, a men's auxiliaries and a woman auxiliaries. So yes, men handle men problems, women handle women problems, but it is the man that will be there to guide and make sure the organization is going how it's supposed to go. That's how we're set up. That's how it's going to be. That's how all of the women that were most pious or known for being pious followed that protocol. So I heard a brother say, for example, Martin Luther King was cheating on his wife and doing things with these women and blah, 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 blah. But you know what's funny? What he didn't say? You know what's funny? He didn't say that when Betty Shabazz found out and the feds brought that recording, like, look, we got your husband in the hotel with these prostitutes. We got him. He ain't going to stop. He will continue doing it. What did she do? She told them they can go to hell, take everything they got, and she never came out and said that about her husband. Never, not one time. You know why? You know why? Because she will never turn her back on the men that stood in the front lines to protect those women and those children abroad. So we are going to be involved with our women, and our women going to handle their things too. Oh yes, they are, but we're going to be there to make sure things run accordingly.
All right, let me just say this real quick. I'm frustrated because I didn't really get a lot of clear-cut answers. And then the other frustration I get, honestly, is first off, it was Coretta, right? But yeah, Coretta stood by Martin. And so now what you standing here is telling the rest of the sisters, though, because Coretta was the face of a movement, that now she supposed to teach every other woman that they supposed to stand by their man if they doing something wrong. And that's the problem. See, as we move forward, we have to move forward with integrity and honesty and say, if we are in a polygamous relationship, then that's cool. Let's set it out. Let's set the parameters. Let's build on that. But if we are not, I'm not going to stand by that. I'm not going to stand for that. And I'm not going to tell my son or my daughter that it's okay to do that. That needs to be the message that goes further or forward, because that's the proper psychology of building a healthy family. I yield.
I believe one of the sisters had another comment.
Yes, brother Bashir. If I hope I'm saying it correctly.
Yes,
so
perfect.
I have a couple questions. Do you believe that the women being successful in this time of day are actually willingly not allowing men to be the leaders of the community or their household?
In general, yes. There's a lot of tension, and it's different levels. So for example, if we deal with, let's go from what would be perceived as a lower scale to a higher scale. So on the grassroots level, if a sister is getting benefits from the government that also helps her with housing or whatever, the Black woman is so special where she don't mind helping her man. I've never seen a Black woman, no matter how out of control she would be perceived. I've seen that there's something there. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. I need to say that nowadays. But in general, she will try to help her man, with whatever she can. But the flip side of that is that she's going to use that leverage to try to, at times dominate over the men. So for example, this is my house. I got the benefits. I'm doing this. And it doesn't matter if he does have a job and he bringing money in or whatever. It's never going to be like yours. So she's never really going to, even though there's exceptions to the rule, she's never really going to be able to submit to a man that's kind of living off that situation. Women that get degrees in colleges, and I'm in business around business women that makes more money than the average person probably in the world. And they are very strong women. However, they too will tell you, I could bring them on the show. Women, 6-figure plus women that I know personally, talk to regularly, do business with. These women have a sense of pride with them, and they will tell you, because I'm not going to allow you to come in and destroy what I built. And this is why you have your Kevin Samuels popping up, by the way. But yeah, but did I answer your question? If I didn't,
I understand what you're saying. So my next question is, do you believe, I guess you said it before, you believe that women should not basically be promiscuous, so to say, right? And should be more selective in choosing a man to lay down with, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So my follow-up question to that is, what do a man have to show a woman, or what should a man, I should say, have to show a woman that will give her the example of what a good man is, or a good man to produce with?
Yes. And this is why I go back, great question. This is why I go back to, God consciousness, because we have a living leader, a Khalifa in the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. You see his wives, how he deal with people. But we have the Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, which is, you know, and that is the sunnah or the guidance that we all are instructed to take from. So when we see that he teaches that the best of you are the best are the best of you are the best that are best to their women or to their wives, you know, that are the best of you. And if you're not that, then you're not of me. You know, and these are not things that I'm making up or trying to, you know, make stick on the wall. These are the teachings that we can find. You know, the Quran itself is a guide. If you are in the Bible, that can be a sort of guide to you. And that's why I have brought up, you know, the guidance is there, but we don't want to take it. So the example for us in Islam Ahmadiyya is, you know, starts with the Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessing of Allah be upon him. And then it goes down to the successors and until real time today. Now, then, but it all is sourced from like the Quran, for example. So I know this is my guide. So it tells me I have to take care of my wife. I have to be kind to my wife. I have to, you know, a Muslim woman does not, this is what I'm saying, guys that, and I'm not talking about these guys, I'm talking in general, guys that, you know, is kind of fighting against what I'm talking, they're not giving the women their proper due or just rights. They're not. And until they listen to what a brother like me is saying in the Quran and really get the teachings, until a sister really get the teachings and know, she's going to know that I've been cheated. I've been hoodwinked. I had these fools telling me something that sounded good to me, but now I'm still in hell because you know why? We're going to stop that guy from being able to, you know, have his way with you. You know, a man, you know, like we have brothers, why does a man have a right, or why would a man be so concerned about, you know, women or whatever? But I'm concerned, I'm gonna tell you a story, I'm not gonna be long with it, but I'm concerned about the women in my family in particular. So it was a point in time where a brother could tell his sister, a literal brother, sis, go in the house. Sis, go change that. Yo, you out here on the block with that on? See, I'm 42. So when I was raised, that's how we was raised. So, you know, I'm going to give a little short story. So I'm at my sister's house, visiting my sister's house. My cousin come over, the females. She's like, yeah, I'm going to have this guy come pick me up. And I'm here and I'm listening. This guy coming to pick me up, you know, telling my sister, and she like, you know, listen to this. I don't want him to know I live at, so I got him to come over here to meet you here. And so I said, hold up, cuz, let me get this right. You don't want him to know where you live at, but you brought him to your cousin's house, who was my sister, so he can know where my sister live at. That makes a whole lot of damn sense, right? But I said, cuz, I got you. You know what? I want to meet bro when he comes. No. Don't do that, my sister, my cuz. Don't do that. You want to embarrass us? I said, look, if he come in here to know where my sister live at and to take you out, I'm going to see this guy. Oh, I'm going to see this guy. It's going down. I don't give a damn what you talking about. Why? Because I'm the protector of my family, of the women in my family. Oh, yes, I am. So anyway, I go out to the brother. I say, how you doing, brother? Shake his hand, you know, Bashir, blah, blah, blah. Got to look at the car, got to look at him. I said, listen, man, you know, I'm a Muslim, but y'all not. But I tell you what, just bring my cousin back how she had it. I really don't approve, but y'all going to do what you do anyway. But just bring her back the same way she going with you. Period. And then, I swear by Allah, and after that conversation and all that, my cousin, my sister and my girl cousin, they both was like, you know what? We thought that was going to be embarrassing. That wasn't a good look, but we appreciated that. That was some real stuff. So brothers that be talking, see, women, I know real women respect what I'm talking. Oh, they do. And so I'm real-time wives and children. Well, I have a wife now, but multiple wives, listen, you can't play that game with me. So all I'm saying is, family, let's start getting some of this information and let's start seeing, because it's going to change the condition, because what we've been doing haven't been working. All they've been talking and it haven't been working. So I'm going to talk to my sisters and my brothers and get us on par of the course of being successful and happy again. Make black women great again.
All right,
Make black men
we
great.
if it is not any more questions, we are reaching the 7 o'clock hour. So we could go ahead and close this thing out. So I'll turn it to the sisters. Y'all
I
got
have
any
a couple of
questions
questions,
or
if you don't
comments?
mind.
Oh, go ahead, sister.
I had to step away from my computer because I have a family, but I've come back. How does your community prepare men and women for marriage?
Oh, that's a great question. The first thing is that you will sit down with a woman will sit down with a representative, which is called a wakil or wali. So this will particularly be her father, her brother, somebody like that is responsible or whatever to represent her. A lot of times our families are so messed up. We don't have those connections with our family. So, one could be appointed to the sister that's righteous in a community that's proven to do certain things, and be involved, whatever. So long story short, she that person represents her, and if she want to look for a brother, they set up a time where they meet, to sit down. Literally, it's called a sit down. You sit down, talk. You have a chaperone there. You guys talk about life or whatever, and then you repeat that process until you guys say, what, we've gained enough rapport to where we feel like, we want to go to get married. Before she get married, she decides that she gets a gift. It's called a dowry. So she says she can have anything that she wants. This is the process. She can have anything she wants. But of course, the brother got to have it. If she wants a mountain of gold, and there's no brothers that have a mountain of gold, she's going to be waiting until she find a brother with a mountain of gold. But let's just say they come up with agreement. I want $5,000, $3,000. My wife actually want a 9mm for her dowry, purple handle. So this is the gift that you give to her. And once the agreement is made, then you talk to the mosque, and then Imam will set up the terms, that you guys do agree. Nobody forcing you to marry each other. And then they'll do the sermon, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're in, you're married. As far as our community, it's a marriage license that actually go into the community and is attached with your name. So everyone in the community will know who your wife and who your children are. And that's essentially, how it goes in a nutshell.
So what happens to, say, for example, whatever's been agreed within the agreement, the negotiation within the dowry for how the marriage should go? What happens if those agreements aren't stuck to?
Well, and if any agreements is not stuck to, what happens is, first, the Quran explains, and it says, try to get representatives from your family to come together and try to reconcile the situation. Reconciliation is best. Trying to find a solution to whatever the problems is best according to what the Quran says. Then if it can't be settled there with the families, and there's some type of quarrel happening, then we actually have our own court system in Jamaat Ahmadiyya, no matter where you are in the world. The United States, we have it here as well. And so what we will do, just like a regular court system, you will file your paperwork in the community, say, listen, I want a divorce, so we having this problem. And so then you go up what is called the Kata board, which is a board of judges. And then they hear you out just like regular court. And then, if no reconciliation could come, they'll determine what the proper, solutions would be. And that's essentially that.
All right, so we got the
I have
last.
another question.
Hold on.
What does your community plan to do about men who have decided to go their own way?
Okay, so it really depends. So if you are, let's say, like when I first came into the community, I was new, and before I was really a member of the community, I could have married someone and just brought them in. And you can do that. However, if you are in the protocol, you typically are going to go the way and marry inside the Jamaat. But if you don't marry inside our community, the men can marry outside the community. It's not recommended, and there's certain protocols that have to be made to do that, but they can do that. And as long as they do it according to Islamic tradition, then no harm or penalty will come to them.
I heard you mention something about KS. Can you explain to me what that was about?
About what?
I heard you say something about Kevin Samuels, but I didn't get the context. I just want to
Oh,
understand.
yes. I was saying, you know, this is how we got the development of a person of like Kevin Samuels, you know, that is talking about women. And it's funny that, you know, to hear men, it's always funny to hear men, you know, say things about women, but, you know, and anytime I hear that, and it may seem like I'm talking about the people on the show, but no, this is a big problem outside this show, is that, you know, we don't realize that we come from others for real. I don't think so. Or because how you don't like or admire the likeness of your mother, which is the female, which is a so-called black or melanated woman. You know, that's the likeness of my mother. And so just as a son will want to protect his mother and make sure that no harm comes to her, you know, I would want to make sure that I know I'm on post and on guard for the sisters in inside my community primarily, and then outside, you know, my neighborhood and all of that. There's levels to this. But if a sister is in harm's way, it's my duty as a man. If I am there and I'm able to actually do something about it, I should do that thing. And of course, we got to use wisdom. But Kevin Samuels is developed. You know, we get these guys because of the problems that is happening in our families, and a lot of, just as men have been women have been abused by men, by domestic violence, a lot of men has been abused by their mothers for different reasons that we must, you know, talk about and have some conversations about. But black men and women should be talking to each other and amongst themselves collectively and get down to the problem. But luckily you was here because I gave some powerful solutions for anybody that want to take it. And just like that, I promise you, just like that.
I heard you say something in regards to women's clothing. I just want to understand the context.
Oh yeah. You know, our women are not dressing with modesty and with dignity. Like majority of our women do not dress with modesty and dignity, and that's a problem. You know, our women should be dressing in a dignified manner and not in a sexualized manner, because that's where the society wanted them to go to in the first place. So, you know, you know, and the crazy thing about that is that you have a group of men, or will classify themselves as white men, that created this whole sexualization of the woman and putting it out there and, you know, telling us what these beauty standards are. And then our women have fell and into that trap, and they're not really playing the role that they should play, because they're not in their natural, you know, and their true natural self. They're in the animalistic. Too many of our women are in the animalistic stage where, you know, she got her breast out, her stomach out, her thighs out, the dresses. Come on. This is normal nowadays, but it's normal nowadays because those dog Negroes, those guys that want to act like they are for the woman, that want to say, no, I'm really for you. And, you know, these guys that's talking polygamy, these guys that's talking about my woman do this and I'm the protector, you know, they chauvinist guys. You wouldn't be with me. You know, the guy that is going to sleep around with you and have my way with you. And why your father can't say nothing and your brothers can't say nothing or do nothing. But anyway, off the topic, our women need to cover themselves up, period. Cover yourself up more. You can look very nice, very sophisticated, you know? At the very least, I mean, you have the Islamic way of covering up, but then you got the Michelle Obama way. But then you got the Little Kim way, or the Cardi B way, or the Megan Thee Stallion. But the Megan Thee Stallion way, which is a woman that's calling herself a damn stallion. Well, anyway, the Megan Thee Stallion way is the norm of our society. This is how our women want to dress. And if anybody is denying that, they're denying the truth of what is actually happening. And I have eyes and we can see. So yes, I know you didn't ask, but the flip side of that was for the men too. I was talking about the men. Like, we have 40-year-old men or males that sagging their pants. You know, they're literally sagging their pants. That's a problem too. Walking out in the block with the tattoos, the shirt off, that's a problem too. You a distraction. It's a distraction to what really needs to go on. So, do you think that heterosexual men don't like the shape of a woman? Absolutely. Then we got these situations, and I'm not trying to jump on the bus or nothing, but then we got guys like Polite that come into the damn community. We warn you about. Brother Bashir warned you about for years and years and years and years. And then you know what niggas say? They say, oh my God, this guy is a Muslim. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. He don't know what's going on. I've been telling the community for so many years and doing it live or side that it, live all the time. But you know what happens? Is death and destruction comes. But what I said is not taken into consideration, but the death and destruction is going to come either way. So that's what I'm saying. If we take it, apply it, it would be beneficial. If we don't take it, you're not going to apply it. And so we're going to get more hell and torment. That's the bottom line of it.
All right. So
we need dignified men and women.
Yeah, we really got to close this thing out. So we're going to allow Yashar to get his question or comment in. And we definitely got to close because I got to set up this interview for tonight.
Shalom, Brother Bashir. How you doing?
Shalom, brother.
I appreciate what you did. Appreciate your time and bring appreciation. What I'm hearing from the feedback and the kickback that I'm trying to the entire.
Hold on. Is he breaking up, or that's my end breaking up?
Yeah. I think you're breaking up a little bit, Yashar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Take your camera off. Maybe you need to take your camera off, and that might will help.
No doubt.
Nah, it's doing it again. Maybe you should come out, brother, and then come back in like I did, and it might work.
No, I'm gonna let. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just chime in. I'll try and chop it up with you the next time.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, you sounded clear when you said that, though.
Yeah, when you said that, you was clear.
All right. Well, look, this is what I want to say, man. It looked like it's a lot of kickback, and we got to deal with both ends of the stick, right? We're not just dealing with last weeks, almost a month. I've been hearing a lot about us. I have no issues with that. But we got as well. We're just not the problem. Just like our sisters are the problem. Can't focus on right the males' just problems and solutions, and we just leave the sisters just this a couple of days ago. But at the same time, I had to be patient and wait for my time to be able to speak. I'm to this way. Bashir, bro, I appreciate what you did because it opened the door for that conversation. It opened the door for
Yeah. You're breaking up, brother Yashar.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do it with that. Shalom.
All right, so we definitely got to close out now. So shout out to the Imam and all the panelists that came on to ask questions. We will be having an interview tonight, bringing Brother Taz on. I know we was unable to do it last night, but we're going to definitely do it tonight. So that's why I'm closing out now. So shout out to the Argument League and Swab Beezy for allowing us to bring the brother on. And I'm actually in the process of talking to Minister Jap. I know this is another individual that has certain perspectives. It's good to always bring in, different perspectives so that, we can see, let the minds battle and see what each point the other person has. So I'm going to contact Minister Jap. I was supposed to bring him on a month ago on the other channel. I was going to make that something that I was going to do on one of my other channels, but I think that this would be the suitable platform to bring on that different perspective. So I'm definitely going to give him a call if I can find his number. I think that's probably in my old phone, but I'll definitely bring the brother on. So y'all can have a dialogue. We could bring the brothers in. They could ask them some questions like they did Imam. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here for now. This is your boy Soul of Mine. We'll see you guys in a couple hours. Oh, I mean, Domo may be going live. One of those guys may be going live. So we, you know how the argument league does. One of them guys may be going live. So yeah, rest assured you, one of these guys is going live. So we're gonna get up out of here though. We definitely gonna be rocking out like a 9-ish. So be on the lookout for that over there on the SVDL channel. But until next time,
you're not hating Manny. You're not hating argument. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. Hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. You're not hating Manny. I am Peyton Manning level. I'm on GOAT status. I think I'm the baddest mother lover ever walk on this planet. Damn it, you could never see me. You could never beat me. You could never be me. Disrespect me, and I'm eating all of your pizza. I know I'm not right. I know I'm not white. I know I'm gon' call the popo on you if you hit me. I don't fight. I'm a rapper. I don't write. Rio, you got all that hype. That's the stuff that I don't like. Why you laughing at my height? I wish I could slap your face. You just think you're slower.